Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the Speed Society and everybody that has been watching. Today we have a little bit of a guide on the add-ons that I use for farming and selling TMOG, and also all of my other items. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go through a list of like auction add-ons, TMOG add-ons, Ease of Life add-ons, and such and such. So we will crack right into. So the first add-on we're going to be covering today is the ATT or All the Things add-on. It's a great add-on for completionists and TMOG farmers, as it can show you a lot of world drops and zone drops and dungeons and raids loot and stuff like that, schematics that come from them, patterns and all that great stuff from this little thing right here just by left clicking on it. And then if we go into for the TMOG section, you can see that it'll tell you that ATT character, new character, rogue armor, but it's no longer available because it has that little red square next to it means that it's no longer obtainable. But so you can get this from a Zone Eastern Kingdom Stormwind City vendor, Laura Moore. So this was a vendor item. I just bought it off the auction house just to show that it was a unique item. But either way, like this unique item will sell to item collectors. They want a specific item ID to fill out their collection of TMOG items, their completionists, or someone might just like to look and want it. So usually unique items are the ones that sell the fastest and for the most amount of money. But so that's a unique item. It only shares one appearance ID at all. But then we'll move over to this one where it's a lot of appearances shared by the same item. So this one I would never try and sell because it shares so many appearances. Now you can see that maybe it's got a male variant and a leather variant. So some people might want it for male, some people might want it for leather, but it still has so many of the shared appearances that I just would never even mess with this. But it does show the red um, square with a minus through it next to some of them, so that means that those are unobtainable in the game as of now. We'll move over here. So this one shares 3 appearances, 2 blues, 1 purple. But the purple is unavailable seasonal content right now. So therefore, that will come back at a later time, or it was out for seasonal content and now it's not. But either way, that is what the yellow symbol means next to those. And then you will have um, a green symbol next to it, which means that it's available seasonal content. So take that with, I would say, a grain of salt because I don't feel like it gets updated very often, but it's still a very good reference. Like this one here has 3 appearances that is shared, 2 of them are unobtainable, and 1 is seasonal. There is also a gray, which means it's an unobtainable by your class, if I'm not mistaken. If you get confused with it, you can go into this, go to features, and there is an icon legend right here. Yeah, unavailable on current character. So it will tell you what they all mean right here. So that's very nice as well. But I use ATN or AT&T, yeah, ATT for all of my TMOG sorting to see if they're unique and what all of their good stuff is, if they're unobtainable or whatever it is. But we will move on to the next add-on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this add-on, we are going to talk about Bag Appraiser. So what Bag Appraiser does is it will take all of your items that you have in your bag and it will make you see the entire value of your bags determined on if you have it on minimum buyout through TSM or through Auctionator or whatever you set it up as. But if you look here, it will tell you that Bag Appraiser is reading 13,000 gold. That's between my bank and my bags. And then it will tell you the top 5 contributors. Now, I don't have anything in my bags right now, really, so it's not showing anything worth anything, but this is a good way to see at the end of a farm when you have a lot of good items in your bags, materials, everything like that. You can look at this add-on and you can see the total value of what you have made. Otherwise than that, very simple add-on. You just general minimum buyout or whatever you want it at. Very simple uh, settings and everything. You can do profiles. So I definitely recommend having Bag Appraiser on just so you can see what your total farm is worth. All right, we will move on to the next add-on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the second add-on we're going to talk about is Auto Loot Plus. It's the one that I use for skipping the loot window when I am farming. It definitely is something that helps keep up efficiency in your farming. So I will kill these two and you will see there is no loot window anywhere. It just skips by it. It makes it for so much faster looting. Clearly, if there's a lot of loot, like you kill like out cloth farming in the new zones, yeah, you'll probably see it, but it skips by it pretty quick. Um, but otherwise than that, this is definitely a really good efficiency add-on for farming TMOG materials, whatever it is. And we will discuss the reason why skipping the loot window isn't too big of a deal going forth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so right now we are going to discuss Loot Appraiser Challenge and Loot Appraiser Reloaded. So what these add-ons do is they allow you to see the loot that you have been collecting over the time of your runs and stuff. It can have resets. I will show you the layout of it here in a second. Loot Appraiser Challenge allows you to challenge your BNet friends to like a loot off, basically, so you can like run dungeons side by side but not together and kind of face off of who will get the best loot. But so we will take a little look at what this looks like. I know it's a little blurry. My snippet tool didn't work very well. But so what this window over here is showing you is like where you are, where you are farming, how long you've been farming, the value you have looted depending on the setting you have on it for like reading where the value is coming from. You have the amount of items looted, noteworthy items. You can sell trash, destroy trash. You can reset instances with it. It's really nice. It will keep track of how many instances you've done too. And what Loot Appraiser Reloaded will also do is it'll pop this kind of stuff up on your screen that will tell you the price of what you've looted depending on, again, what you have selected for your price teller. Like if you have it as Auctionator, TSM, whatever you have going, it will tell that. And then we will go on to the Loot Appraiser Challenge, which is really cool. You can set it for any amount of time you want. You can do it private or public to your friends. So me and my buddy were doing it. He had to go, so this is kind of just like a uh, a showcase, I guess, for it. But what will happen is it will count up all of your loot determined on what setting you have it set to. Like if you have it set to common, like it says over here, or epic, rare, whatever it is, it'll count up the amount of gold that each person has gotten. And then in the end, it just shows, who's the winner and woohoo, like, yeah, I won. You can bet on it, whatever you want to do, but I find it a very good add-on to either increase the fun of your dungeon runs by also keeping track of how much gold you're making per hour. Now, take into consideration that it's better to do, like, let's say you're on a higher pop server. I would recommend Not using region market value average, I would recommend going in and using like TSM groups. Nope, general. You'd want to use like minimum buyout, but I'm on a dead server, so minimum buyout gives me very wonky prices. Now, the market value average can do that as well, but it's still a more of a realistic overall number. Some of the value will get a little crazy, just like a lot of the add-ons show. But anyways, I feel like Loot Appraiser Reloaded and Loot Appraiser Challenge are definitely ones to have on here. Very good add-ons in my opinion. All right, we will move on to the next add-on. Okay, so for our next add-on, we're going to talk about Rematch and Rematch TSM Pet Info, I think is what it's called. Either way, it'll be under Rematch as well, the TSM one. What it'll do, you can get it on CurseForge, and what you will see here with this add-on, that doesn't matter, but it will tell you the price on your realm for each and every pet. So it's very nice to have to just go through your journal really quick and be able to see if you have any like really expensive pets in there. So I definitely would recommend downloading this to just be able to go through and see if there's any pets that you don't want that are worth a lot. You can also then go and see what all the pets that you don't have are worth. So maybe, oops, some of them, some of them would be decently expensive. Trying to see if I can't see one that's worth like a couple 100,000. But yeah, 99,000 here for like Bop, War Within, Cinderbrew Meadery. Um, so yeah, like that's definitely a good add-on. It's very simple to set up. You just download it and set to minimum buyout on your realm, and then you can see the price of your pets in your journal. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So for this one, we're going to be talking about two add-ons that just kind of go together for farming. So we're just going to cover both of them in one. And one of them is hyperspawn. So if you type slash s hs when you have this downloaded, it will pull up this window right here, this purple hyperspawn window. And if you click start, it will start a countdown for 2 minutes to loot. So it's very good for the items that disappear before 30 minutes, such as blues and epics. So it's very good for that, but it's what I like it for is to be able to tell how many kills an hour your group is getting. Because as you can tell, the more I kill or the less I kill, the kills per hour go up and down. So like right now it's reading that if I kept running around here, I'd have about 1900 kills an hour or so. So it definitely is a very nice add-on to be able to tell if your group is doing good kills, if it's not working out very well. It gives you your raw gold per hour, duration of the farm, and such like that. So that's a very good add-on to use, I would say, while you are farming to see how many kills and gold you have if you're not using or you don't want Loot Appraiser open. But now one other one is Kill Track, which it shows you how many times you've killed a mob. Um, so like if you can see on my tooltip above my camera here, right about there, it shows that I've killed him 8 times. So that's just to kind of help you with like how many times have I killed this dungeon boss and haven't got the loot. So it also kind of keeps track of like if you killed the last dungeon boss while you're doing dungeon runs, it will tell you more or less how many times you've run the dungeon. It will also tell you how many maybe mobs you've had to kill before you got the item you were looking for. It's just a little statistics track thing. Both of them really are hyperspawn and kill track that I just personally like to use for farming to be able to see how things are really going in the farm and how many times I've murdered things in order to get what I want. But all right, we will move on to the next add-on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so for the next add-on, it's something that I'm sure a lot of people have used. You know, it's just something that I want to cover for if you are farming stuff out in the open world, is Rare Scanner. I mean, it's definitely something worth having, as it will show you the routes and everything of rares, and a lot of them will drop pretty decent stuff. Like for instance, in the, if I can read, the Southern Barrens, I'm not Geo Priest, he'll drop this staff, which TSM region value says it's 1.3 million gold. It's not. I've sold a lot of these for like 20 to 35k ish or whatever, but still a really good drop. So like it will show you exactly where they spawn and everything, and like you can see spawns here, here, and here. It's just a really good add-on if you're gonna go farming for rares or hunting for rares, and it'll let you know if they pop up. But otherwise than that, we will move on to the next. Okay, so for this add-on, it's gonna be a short one. This one is called Monkey Speed. And what Monkey Speed does is it will show you how fast you are moving. That is this little red bar right here. So I'm at 0% because I'm not moving at all right now. And then once you see that I go up, it goes to 244.3. And then if I will throw on a potion, it will go up to 250.9. And if you take off like a rocket, it will boost it up and show you as it diminishes down. And any speed increases or decreases that you get, Monkey Speed will show you how fast your current and your most possible movement is. So I definitely enjoy that add-on for speed farming or speed sets, just to kind of see what my new speeds are and stuff like that. But otherwise, that's really all there is for Monkey Speed. I mean, you can go in here, you can drag it all over, you can change the colors of everything to your liking. You can change the amount of decimal points there are. So, like, if you really want to know what your speed is, you can get right down there to it. Um, but otherwise than that, yeah, that's pretty much all for that, and we'll move on to the next add-on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final part of the transmog and material slash just farming add-ons. So this is going to be the auction add-ons that I use. I use two of them. Um, some people like to just use one for certain things. I understand that there are TSM lovers, there's auctionator lovers, there's auctioneer lovers. It's definitely based off of preference. I just personally like to use um, Auctionator and TSM at the same time for separate things. So, for instance, like you can make shopping lists on Auctionator to find the things that you want faster to see if the prices are low or whatever. Like I personally like to see what the prices are of Savage, Heavy Savage, and Pristine Hides are for flipping possibly, depending on what they are. I haven't added many material things to this. This is kind of just the main material flip that I do. But you can add those to Auctionator. And then what I like about Auctionator as well is that you can easily post stuff. I will show you the settings here in a second, but you can do the 12, 24, 48. You can set it to where it selects the last one that you picked or whatever. And I have it set up to my scroll wheel. So I can just scroll down and it will post the item that I am currently going to, and you can just post the next item. Now you want to be careful with that if you're spam posting, because sometimes it doesn't let you know that things aren't going very well and you might be posting at a low price. But what's nice too is you can undercut scan just like you can with TSM. If it's undercut, you can sit here and cancel. Just like TSM, it does lag. Um, I'm guessing the auction house gets throttled. They don't want you taking too much off and putting too much on at the same time. But either way, if you want to cancel something as well, you can just do this. If you want to search for a specific item, you can search for a specific item to cancel if you don't want it on there anymore. Very, very simple. You can full scan, which what we'll do is it'll go through the entire auction house and it will update the tooltip when you hover over these for where it says auction underneath the description and sell price there. It will update that so that you have a little bit more of a understanding of what things are really costing. But I don't use Auctionator for that. I use it more for selling and canceling. But if I'm going to go and look at items to like resell, or you're scanning for deals and stuff like that, TSM is definitely the best option. There are many ways of setting up groups. This one I just kind of pulled off of the web. I'm not really a big TSM fan. I've made a lot of gold off of just using Auctionator. TSM has a lot of setup to it, a lot of confusing steps that I just personally didn't want to take the time to figure out. I know it can be very beneficial and it can increase your sales. So if you want to take the time to do that, I definitely recommend it. But otherwise, you can cancel your auctions, you can run Sniper, you can, post your auctions through TSM and everything. But what I really like TSM for is the fact that I think it's every 2 hours, it refreshes the auction house entirely and will tell you the new updated price. So as you can see here, TSM has an accounting where it will tell you how much you've purchased, your smart average buy price, your last purchase time, the minimum buyout on your realm, the region sale average, and the region sale rate, plus how many are regionally sold in a day. It is a very, very nice thing to see. You can tell off of your TMOG, your materials, and everything, how likely it is to sell. Now, don't get discouraged by that number. A lot of TMOG will show that it's a very low percentage of sale, but it's just a number that gets a little fluctuated around. Like I still sell stuff that's 0.001% chance or whatever. Like that number is just there to tell you that like, yeah, it doesn't sell very well or this sells really good, but it's still not the best number. I would take it with a grain of salt. So another thing that is really, really, really good about TSM is that the dashboard can show you your entire life's worth of money, 2 years, 1 year. Now, this account's only been active for 2-ish months, I think. So I can only see, the last 2 months or whatnot, but it will show you your entire ledger, or your entire earned player gold, your expenses, your profit. It does have a ledger to show everything like my sales, your resales, what you've bought and resold to see if you've made any money off of it, what you've bought in failed auctions that have expired or canceled. I mean, it shows you everything. There's groups to set up. You can set up operations. I mean, TSM is a great add-on. It's just a lot more complicated than, let's say, Auctionator, where you have basic options, like run auto scan when auction house is open, so you can always have up to date 15 minutes between auto scans. It's got a lot of just simple steps to it. Like you can selling shortcuts, you can set it up to a selling shortcut or a canceling shortcut. What you want to drop the undercut to, your duration. You can set a value so that you only undercut by like 1 silver, which actually is what I'm gonna change mine to at this very point. But like, and oh, I also recommend same ID slash same pet ID, because what this will do is it will compare all of the items not just Aurora, Quick Blade, Fever Flare, and stuff like that, or Fever Flare, and everything like that. So, like, I recommend having that set. You can set how many you want, how many times items ahead of your listings before they count as undercut. Like, there's a lot of settings that make this pretty decent for an auction house add-on. But otherwise than that, I think I've covered about everything that I want to on these. I'm going to do some more videos this week for sure on some farms. I just kind of wanted to put out this video so that all of you know like the decent amount of add-ons that there are to use for gold farming. But otherwise than that, Speed Society and everybody else that has watched, I will catch you later, and you guys have a great rest of your day.